you know. So in that case, they have to now prove them what they have to do it. Interestingly enough, I have see another quotation on luck by Donald Trump, and he is writing everything in life is luck. Okay, I will not comment on that further. Okay, it's his view. Good luck to him. Okay, all right. So now regarding this, I was reading a book of J.P. Vaswani's his book, very good book, and spirituality in daily life. The one he has mentioned one old Chinese story that is very interesting that I wanted to share with you. There was two farmers. Earlier, they used to plow in had Chinese mountain areas. They used to do the cultivation, plow the land with horse. So there are many Western countries also. We use cow, but they use horses. So it is a story of two farmers and their neighbors. So what happened is one fine morning, the one farmer came out and saw the only horse he had, the broken the rope and run away in the forest. So the other neighbor saw that his only horse has run away. So now he have to do something. He have to do himself work or whatever. But only horse is left, lost. Okay. Then after a few days, they saw that horse which left, his horse. They came back from the forest with 3, 4 more horses, from the forest, wild horses. He brought them together and came back, and they are drinking water from there in that. So then that morning, that farmer came out and saw 4 horses or 5 horses. They tie them all together and all, saying, "What a good luck you have! Now you had only one. Now you have 5 for free. So that's a very good luck." Then he said, "Good luck or bad luck, who knows?" He's a philosopher. So then his son was trying to train the wild horses because they need to plow the land. And to tame them up because there is wild horses, so just make them run and ride them and all these kind of things, tame them under control. So one of this time, his son has fallen from on horse and broken his leg. So then his neighbor saying, "Oh, what a bad luck you have! Your only son, and he's broken his leg. He's useless now. He cannot do any work in the cultivation or even training the horses. He cannot do anymore." Again, that farmer said, "Good luck or bad luck, who knows?" So anyway, after a week's time, they saw some from the king. The army came. They wanted to expand the army. Whoever in the age group from 18 to 30, the men, they're taking all of them into the army. It's a mandatory royal order. Everybody has to go and join the army. They came and left that boy because his leg is broken. So then also the other never says, "Oh, what a good luck you have," and he says again, "Good luck and bad luck, who knows?" See, this story, it is basically telling you that maybe something is happening for a bigger cause. Okay. Something is happening for a bigger cause. The wise ones, what as I have written there, so it is to, you never know what is there, behind that. Because we look at it from a limited prism. So we look at it as a good luck or bad luck. But ultimately, it may not be that. And I got another, the quotation from some American writer. His name is Cormac McCarthy. He says, you never know what worse luck your bad luck has saved you from. And whatever you considered as a bad luck, maybe that bad luck has saved you from something worse. Okay, see, this is also the another way of looking at it. So if you go into that and further, let me give you another quotation from Dalai Lama. Dalai Lama said that, remember that not getting what you want is sometimes a wonderful stroke of luck. See, because in the long term, what is happening in your life, it is for the long term thing. Only our short term sight label them as good or bad. And in this, ultimately, it may not be in our best interest sometimes. So ultimately, it would be our best interest what works here. That finally give us the result, not the short-term things. So that's why I have given some kind of background of how people looked at it, how people, their experiences they shared, how they have done this thing. Now let me come to that spiritual part of it. Okay, so I will go now into explaining about, I have quoted so many people to give you some dictionary, etc., to give the idea of that. Now I'll go into the spiritual part of it. So far, anybody has any question about just understanding of good luck and bad luck? All right. Okay, now let me give you the spiritual perspective of it. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Spiritual perspective is two things. Spiritually means our soul consciousness. Our soul, first thing is our soul knows everything. And it is applicable for everybody. And there is no exception. My soul, your soul, it doesn't matter. Your soul knows everything. And nothing can happen in your life without permission of your soul. Understand this very clearly. First is your soul knows everything, including your future. And nothing can happen without permission of your soul. And third thing is our soul creates the situation so that your ultimate goal is achieved, not local. I give normally example like sometime a shorter time pain will be longer time gain. Like if you go into surgery, you have some gallbladder stone or something and go for a surgery. So for a few days you have to see the pain. No? Doctor will cut open and then remove the stone and stitches and all these bandages and whatever. I don't know how, maybe technology has improved now, but you have to take rest for a few days and things like that. No, this is a painful experience. You'll be anesthetized and you cannot go to work and things like that. But those are short-term pain. this what the surgeon is doing, the doctor is doing, cutting your belly. It is not for to give you heart, not to punish you. It is for the ultimate good. It will be removed permanently. So it is. So in this, what if you see the short term, it may be look as a bad luck, but ultimately it will be overall it will be for your best interest. So our soul is that our inner guru. It knows what is best for us. At any given moment of time, always it gives what is best possible for us. And also, most of the part we miss. No, earlier we told that the what is the quotation from Seneca, the Roman philosopher, that your luck is where your uh, preparation meets the opportunity. No, so preparation part we forget. You know, you see why you are not getting it, or every time we miss it, something we are not lucky. By the way, that reminds me another story. There is a newspaper. There was a newspaper. So many, thing comes, no offer comes and things like that. So there was a study that they're about their readers. How many of they consider they are lucky and how many they are unlucky. So 80% of them they have written, in my life I'm unlucky. I don't say anything good happens. Only 20% they see that they're happy. So they're happy means they are okay. They don't find it is an issue. So what they have done in one of their advertisements, no, in fourth page lower somewhere in the middle, that if you read this, yeah, you call so and so number, then you claim your prize of $1,000. Just phone number, call and you get $1,000 if you call that number. Then give it to them. So now they see some people actually claim that, call them their office and claim $1,000. They found those are from that 20 category. Because what happens is normally some people they just glance through the headlines and all, they think I have read the paper, because they are not meticulous. And those guys who feel themselves when their experience is lucky, they go on through each and everything. They put their effort and time to go through the newspaper properly, so that they can find out the fourth page, lower half, small letter, what is written, they catch it. So here the preparation meets the opportunity to make the luck happen. They are only very meticulous, they're well prepared. That's why they got that reward. Okay, we miss it. Maybe we are not detailed enough. Our preparation is not proper. So that's why we miss that opportunity. So most of the time we blame it on anything outside us. Blame it on the system, blame it others, give it on the people have done partiality, people are punishing me, and my good luck. Even it goes up to the God level. Huh? God is doing partiality with me. God never gives a good eye to me. That's what we say, right? It has nothing to do with God. It doesn't matter to God. It is we who make it happen. In the spiritual things, I will now go and tell you how to make that happen. Okay. So we started with the spiritual, I deviated with the newspaper survey thing, but it will give you insight that why some people are lucky, why some people are not. Now this spiritually, everything what is happening, nothing can happen without permission of the soul. If something untoward happens to you, remind yourself, it cannot happen without my soul power. There is nothing called accident in spiritual level. Synchronicity can happen. Divine can make it manifested at that particular time. Miraculous thing can be manifested but it is not an accident. Any idea, luck itself sounds like an accident. It is not an accident. You get what you deserve. Okay. You don't get what you desire. So best is to preparation, and how to prepare ourselves. That's what I'm telling you today. Already told earlier also, I'm telling you again today. Now, if you understand that nothing can happen without our permission of the soul, soul knows everything, what is in our best interest. So it is better to take soul's guidance than anybody else. So to do that, first thing you have to do, you have control over your mind. That Eckhart told whatever he told. His biggest achievement in life, he is able to control his mind. That's it. That is the biggest achievement. He can make his mind silent. That is his achievement. First is control over mind. But what will happen? It will interpret everything. Anything does not go as per plan, mind considered is at a threat. And that is the time it injects emotion into you and things like that. Okay. You take any negative emotion, angry, frustrated, sad, and whatever, uh, jealous, or hatred, whatever you have, all kind of negative emotions. You know what is the fundamentally, without going into anything, something you expected that didn't happen, and that's why those emotions came. You expected you will get something you didn't get. You expected somebody to behave certain way, they didn't. You got frustrated. You expected some event will come into this way, that didn't happen, that's why. So ultimately whatever we expected, that didn't happen. And when we expected, when it happens, we don't care, we think it is our right. Okay, it has to happen that way. No, what is the big deal about it? That's why we normally see the more bad lucks than the good lucks. Anyway, so but it is just in soul level, it is a unity consciousness. There is no good or bad. It's all our experiences. In this life, you will experience joy, also you will experience grief. You will experience win, you will experience loss. It is just a different experience. And soul wants to experience everything. So that's why it is called unity consciousness. There is no some good and bad thing, because soul knows whatever is happening in this dimension doesn't matter. Nobody can actually harm a soul. Nobody can actually kill a soul. Nobody can take away actually experience from anyone else. It's not possible. So, if you take that, then we feel what is happening with us. We take it that as our um, best interest offered by our soul. If we miss the flight, we have to take, yes, that is also for our best interest. We heard a lot of stories. Now, there's flight accident happens, and few people, they miss the flight. They could not, booked, but could not go there, and something happened, and all those kind of stuff. So a shorter incident does not it save you from some bigger thing happen. That's what that American writer told. Huh? You never know what worse luck your bad luck has saved you from. Let me share one of my own experiences. I had 2017. We went to visit Austria country, and in bag, my family, my wife and daughter's passport was there. That bag was stolen. Huh? And we could not enter the country, UAE, back, and we have to go to India, make the new passport and all those kind of things. And my daughter cannot back to the school. I cannot join office, and a lot of hassles and things, that time happened 4 months we could not enter to this country. Hmm. Where our house and everything is there. We are not prepared for it. When I look back, it was of course, it is a huge, turbulence in the life and all. My daughter is asking, Papa, when we go back to the school? I could not answer. I don't know whether at all we will be able to come back or at all we have to do. We don't know. So anyway, when I look back, I'm just sharing it. Take it as a, just for information. I'm not asking you to believe it. When I look back into that, then I have seen that I had some kind of some, because of planetary things and etc. So I had some potential accident, traffic accident, and both of my legs could have been damaged permanently. Means both of my legs could have been cut, and I'll be in the bed or something for the rest of my life. In the traffic accident, when I'm driving, I got that vision. What was happening? What would have happened? See, now as I could not enter the country, I don't drive outside this in this country. In India, it's a right-hand drive. Here, it is a left-hand. I never touch car in India because you upset your setting. It's not good. So, so that what happens? I didn't drive for that 3-4 months. That period is over, then suddenly something fall into place and new thing happened. They did something. It's another story. So I come back, everything sorted out. My daughter joined the school. I was thinking they will say, okay, this year is half year has gone. Maybe she have to skip 1 year. Nothing happened. They said, okay, that's fine. Yeah, we understood. The next day she started joining class, and she was, after 2 weeks, we found she was doing good. No, nothing happened. Okay. So sometimes when you undergo this kind of patches in life, you never know what is behind that. Okay, I can find out what happened. That, because that gives me the clarity and peacefulness within me. It may not be relevant for anyone else. Somebody may be, oh, this is all a fake thing. Doesn't matter. I'm not asking approval of anyone. I know the truth. What happened that time? Okay, I'm just sharing. What I mean to say is, whatever happens to you, your nobody else, your soul plans it and implements it accordingly, which is in your best interest. Okay, so this is how it works. And now, in that sense, that how to attract now this, get out of this so-called bad lucks. Now listen this part very carefully. Key is not what is happening. Key is on your vibration, your PEVF. If you raise your PEVF high, untoward incident will stop happening. Because you attract with your vibration all the events which is happening in your life untoward. One can be your soul's preparation, but other, there is something which is unplanned. You attract with your vibration level. When you go into the higher energy level, automatically, energetically, things will not come towards you. I normally, give an example. Suppose you visited some, say, guest house. You've gone to some Himachal Pradesh somewhere, and you stayed in some guest house with a big group. You have gone. Maybe that guest house have 10 employees. Some of the employees, if you feel, I can shout at him. Means you feel like, why put the teacup here and all. Some of them feel like keeping the distance, not to mess up with this guy. Automatically, they have not done anything wrong to you. You don't know them. All 10 are new to you. But to some, you will feel like I can shout at that guy. And other, you feel, oh no, I should not mess up with this guy. What makes these two difference? Difference is their energy level and the vibration. Some people attract this abuse towards them. So what is the key? Raise your vibration. Okay. So my advice is, don't something happen, why this bad luck is happening to me, and crying, and why God is, not doing me any favor and all. What wrong I have done? That is the, most uttered word. What wrong I have done to anyone that I deserve this? It is not about this right and wrong, and your deserve depends upon your vibration level. Get out of it. The practical level. First thing I teach this 108 stomach breathing. No? Anybody who get initiated by me, they know that this is what first thing I teach: how to raise your 3:2 stomach breathing, to raise your vibration, no matter where you are. If you permanently cross 700, that is the level of enlightenment. Okay, so but at least make it above 250. 250 is neutral. So that is my advice. So your aim should be not to analyze what is happening to you, concentrate on your vibration. So that is the key. And I explained, there is one session on that only, that how to, vibration and what this kind of, how to do that, how to attract this and all. It goes the cleansing, and it goes the pattern, it goes off our system and go to higher vibration level and things like that. And if you reach to a certain level, some master will appear and do karmakshalan kriya on you to make you relieved from the burden you are facing. Last week in the Guru Purnima, we had a Karmakshalan session in Dubai also. And Somnath has posted that his experiences, you have known, that. So I only posted one photo what is taken in my mobile. That is the only thing I posted. But that actual what is written there is Somnath has written, and all of you who attended the Kineshwar in Kolkata and Puri, and earlier in Bangalore. So we have done it earlier, and then Houston also we visited. We go to nearby sea. Monica, what is the name of that place? The sea near Houston. Monica. Okay. So anyway, so more to come. Because of COVID, we have stopped that. But this is an opportunity. When you are ready, then some must. I'm not claiming it's me. It's all Babaji's grace. When you are ready, something will happen. Some master will come. Not many master are authorized to do karmakshalan kriya. Okay, so it's all Babaji's grace. So then come, and it will happen. There for you to be lighten your burden and move further, forward. Okay. So now my last thing, the last, in fact, message on this luck is that if the life is a game of luck, then we are lucky to have the life itself. Okay, and what we can do is to make this life best of this life, find out what is the purpose of this life, and that will become your life mission. Complete your life mission, this life itself, and transcend this domain as a winner. Okay, I repeat my end message about this luck. If life is a game of luck, we already own this luck simply by the life itself. We are lucky to have life itself. Being born in this human body is lucky enough. Now, next thing is to find out what we can do with this life. So find out, rather than spending time in complaining about it, find out what is the purpose of this life, your purpose, your soul's purpose of this life. And that will be your life mission. Complete your life mission, take an exit route, and transcend this domain once for all. Graduate from this art plane. When you are ready, some master will come and guide you how to do it. Only thing, you have to be ready. Keep the lamp ready. That master will come with a lit lamp and light your lamp, will get enlightened. And that's it. Okay. So that's all from me. So if you have any question, I can answer that. Then we'll go to our Kriya and meditation. Yes, Aditi?
Actually, that means that good luck or bad luck, whatever it is, ultimately it is boiling down to destiny, isn't it?
It is not destiny, it is your soul's plan. It
Yeah,
is,
soul's plan is nothing but, it is most of the things are predestined.
yeah. No, destiny means it is fixed. Nobody can change it. It is not like that. It is your
Oh,
soul's plan. You can move it with your free will.
okay,
But only thing is it will differ, but it will not change. It will not go away completely.
okay.
You have a free will not to accept that offer. So it will go away.
I see.
Opportunities will come. Let me put it this: opportunities will come, and this is your preparation. Opportunity came, but you say no. Opportunity will go. Maybe another opportunity will come, then your preparation meet, then you get the second opportunity. Then you don't take it, it will also go. Then the third one will come here, and then you can meet like that. So your soul will give you the opportunities based on your soul's plan.
Right.
Once you miss it, it will give again. But that situation need to develop so that you have that kind of thing. And
Okay.
if it doesn't happen in this life, it will be transferred to the next life. Hmm. That's how it happens.
Uh,
But it is for us to grab that opportunity in the first thing and then make best out of use out of it. That is how life works.
I have one more question. Maybe it's a very
Yes,
silly question. What is the I mean, where does soul stay in the body?
soul.
Soul.
Okay, that is a good question. See, let me clear this misconception that our soul holds the body. Soul does not have, I mean, our body does not hold the soul.
Oh, I see.
Soul
Then,
holds the body. Body does not hold the soul.
oh,
Our body is not capable enough to holding the soul. Soul is holding the body. It's like an icon of the soul. Like in the chat room, we put an icon, no?
uh huh,
Some logo. That
uh huh.
icon doesn't hold me. I hold that icon.
Oh,
I can delete it, replace it. Yeah.
I used to think that body is the temple of the soul. So, soul is within the body somewhere.
Body is the temple of the soul, not the owner of the soul. Okay.
Okay, so that means it is the external this thing. Soul. I mean,
No,
can
I
you
think
throw more
earlier
light on this?
Roy also asked similar question. This. It, let me explain it this way. See, I have a flat in Kolkata, right, Rajarhat. So in that sense, uh, my flat, Kolkata contains my flat. My flat does not contain Kolkata.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Similarly, my body, my soul contains my body, but body does not contain soul. Soul is much bigger. Okay, means what Roy's question about the seven body system, that is applicable all higher bodies contain all lower bodies.
Okay.
Okay, so if you see my presentation, soul is combination of third, fourth, fifth, and sixth body,
Yeah, yeah, you told.
and physical body is below that. Physical body, then energy body. Then one and two. So
Mhm.
this package contains both one and two.
Okay.
Any lower body, any higher body contains all the lower bodies into it. Like example of my say flat in Kolkata. So Kolkata contains my flat, my house, say, And then West Bengal contains Kolkata as well as my flat. Then India contains West Bengal, Kolkata as well as my flat.
Understood. And with these, I have one more question. That say you have shown us orbs many a times, pictures of orbs.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yes.
orbs. So orbs is nothing but soul.
Yes.
So
Soul
in the
without physical
without
body.
body, of course. So the pictures of the orbs we have seen, small dimensional whitish kind of thing, small, this thing.
Yeah.
So from that, I thought that it is like a smaller thing or like that.
No. It is a form it takes. It may or may not be visible.
Oh, I see. So when
Okay.
we
It
see
is a
in the
wish.
form of orbs, I mean the in the picture, it will be smaller dimension thing. Is it like that?
See, okay, let me explain it this way. It is an energy bundle. Energy.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Right.
So it can show us in our third dimension in some form or may not be.
Okay.
It can instantly vanish. Vanish means it is changes its vibration, to a little bit different so that you cannot see it.
Right.
So whatever form it comes, it doesn't matter.
I see.
Okay, it's just an energy. You may see it, you may not see it, but that does not qualify what is the energy behind it.
Understood.
Okay, through look of it, you cannot know what are the all other features it has.
I see. Understood.
Yeah. To know that, you have to connect with that energy.
Okay.
To meditation and get the information directly. Now, why to see the forms and all this kind of stuff? So there's no need.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you,
All
Res.
right. Okay. God bless you. Any other question?
Yes, Arti. Not a question you were
Yes, ma'am.
asking Monica in Houston where you had Karamchalan. That was Galveston Beach.
Okay. Yeah.
And
Right.
we had Karamchalan at Madurai also.
Yes, you're right. We have done in Madurai also. Yeah. So we will have more in future also. As per Babaji's instruction, we'll have more in different parts of India as well as outside. So we will see how it works after this pandemic and travel restrictions over. We'll have that. Yeah.
Sir,
Yes. Shweta?
I'm really sorry I was late today and I missed some of the vital words, but of course I will get that in YouTube. Sir, I have a question. Whatever the experience is, good or bad, so we can say that our ultimate goal is to become united with the source. So
Yeah.
everything is happening like nudges to wake up, to give us a wake up call. And as soon as we get wake up, everything becomes clear to us. Can we put it like this understanding?
Yeah. Because you take whatever is happening as an opportunity for you to grow. Okay. So the situation you are facing in your life, those are basically your soul is giving you opportunity to face it and transcend it, not to run away. Again, class 5, thing, example, when class 5 teacher asks you to do certain math, you don't run away from the class. That maths will not go anywhere. You have to come back again and you have to appear in the same test. So it wants you to pass through that so that you can go to the next class. As simple as that. More you delay to get that, it will take more time. And in higher dimension, there is no time. It will wait for that. That's what I was telling earlier. It will wait for 1,000 years till you pass that class. But there is no other way. You have to pass through that. Okay, so best approach will be face these exams and as early as possible, and then get out of this permanently. That is a permanently you transcend that class, not by running away, but facing it, appearing it, and then grow beyond it.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, all right.
Sir, I have a question.
Yes, Uma.
Is soul plan and life purpose are both are same or different?
Yeah, same. Soul has a certain plan, but at the same time, two things run in parallel. One is to soul's plan, what soul wants to experience, and second one is settling your karmic account. So either of the two plays at any given point of time. It is your karma, old karma is settling itself, or you are having some plan as per, experience as per your soul's plan, like that. But whatever is there in the soul's plan, it will happen. We can only shift it, but it will happen. So best strategy is to find out what are the soul's plan through meditation and finish all of them so they are free from it. No further agenda left.
Thank you.
Guruji, one
Okay.
small question. Now you
Yes,
are saying that opportunities will come for us to grow further. Will there be any indication that this is the opportunity for exiting? Is there be any signs, any pre?
No sign. No sign.
sign.
It will be like an ad in the 4th page, lower small letter in the newspaper.
Okay.
In the newspaper. Huh? You have to find it out. Otherwise, you will miss it.
Okay.
There'll be no front page banner ki there is some lottery in the 4th page. It will not be there. You know.
No, I'm just saying that.
No, I'm just giving example to make you understand. So you have to be alert and aware. Again and again, I'm telling you the same thing. I must have heard told almost every session, be alert and aware. Opportunity may come and go. You will miss it. And that's what that newspaper, they found out why some people are always lucky. Because they are alert and aware.
Correct.
You go through each and everything and exactly find out where the opportunity is. Okay. So, but it will not be given some kind of indication separately. So,
At times people say that they have got a vision or something or some.
No. Because see, let me clarify it to you. Your set of opportunity will be your unique. Okay.
Correct.
Nobody else will know it, and nobody will. You cannot copy paste from anybody else either.
Okay.
Your opportunity will come as per your soul's plan. Okay. So, and as I said that it is not that once you miss it forever. Again, similar opportunity will come. You meet it is fine. Otherwise, it will go. Another will come. Another will come like that. Only thing is you have to spend time. No, same thing. What you could have got in the first instant, maybe you will get it in the 4th instance. Okay. But opportunity will surely come.
Thank you.
Because see, it depends upon many other factors. Okay. Suppose you have some opportunity to visit a particular, site in the Himalayas, say. So that needs your travel plan to go to Himalayas, then only you will be able to see it, right?
Correct.
If you don't have a plan to visit, it will wait. So while your preparation is needed, then that thing will happen. No?
Thank you, Guru.
All right. Okay.
Rasdeep, I have a question.
Yes, Roy. Go ahead.
First thing, you have a great memory. You remember when I had last asked about where does the soul reside? You precise remembering it. Great.
I think 1 year back you asked, right? About a year back.
Right. Yeah. Now, how can one measure one's PEVF? At what level, at what frequency? What is the current level?
That is a good question. There are different answers to it actually. There is no direct measurement as of yet. Okay, like an equipment, you put your hand and get the level. Not yet, but they are developing it. It will come. There is some research going on. that they consider it's a heart rate variability factor from vagus nerve. Okay, something is coming, but I'm not talking about that. For you, you see that you read the book of Power versus Force by Dr. David Hawkins. Okay.
Okay.
The whole research, his 40 years research on this personal, vibration, I think they call PVF, personal vibration is same. PVF is same. So how to, what they have done, how to measure it, they scale it. Okay. So this is, then you will have a clear idea from where it has come, this vibration. It is a research done, cellular vibrancy is done. Now to find out where you are, they have some kind of a cone-like structure, like from where I'm talking that 250 is neutral and below that hertz is positive. 500 is love frequency, pure love. Heart chakra opens there and all this. What you need to do is you have to keep a journal of you based on your current vibration, your thoughts will come accordingly. So suppose you give some 1 hour of time and give a particular time to note down the type of thoughts, but nobody will see that. So be honest. Okay, 1 or 2 words of your current thoughts. Suppose you put every 5 minutes or some frequency, you will note down the thought you have. So if you put the journal and see what type of thought they are, if they are mostly negative, then statistically you will fall into that category. If you are mostly positive, you come to the positive territory. If you have the thoughts related to how we can take care of others and how can I be service of others, that means you're 500 above frequency. Okay, they have given a criteria of which means what. Okay, then statistically you analyze and find out which frequency is predominating. It is not fixed, it varies.
Okay.
When we sit in the meditation, all of us, I'm sure, when we do, even today, we'll go 6-step meditation, end of it, all of will cross 700 for sure. In expanded awareness, it goes into 700 plus. But your question is not that one particular step. In general, what will be a general bandwidth of the frequency, that you have to do this study, the self-journal, to find out whether the maximum thoughts are in which category. If the maximum thoughts, I'm not saying it's you. Suppose maximum thought is come, usko kaise danda karenge, अच्छा ठीक है, उसको ऐसे कि हम देख लेंगे. If this is the type of thoughts, then definitely it's below 250. Okay. Revengeful thoughts and these kind of things, and this is useless, and why this is happening, and complaining, all types of things will be below 250. Okay. So it is your own assessment. So you are giving your own. So only thing is a majority of your thought processes, because that reflects your vibration, current vibration level.
What is the name of that book? You said
Power versus Force.
Power
by
versus Force by Dr.
David Hawkins.
David Hawkins. Okay.
Okay. So here his research is there. His 40 years research on vibration and the quantification. They call it a consciousness mapping. Okay, it will be there. So you will have a pretty good idea. If still you have any question from that, then you let me know. Okay.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
All right. Okay. God bless you.
Thank you.
Okay. So if there is no other question, we'll go to our Kriya.
Guruji, I have one question.
Yes. Vijay.
So, Guruji, whatever I understood that the root cause of feeling good or bad is expectation.
Yeah, say it again.
The
Feeling good or bad?
root cause of feeling good or bad is all about expectation.
Yes, that's right.
So if somebody is liberated from that feeling of expectation, whether still there will be some feeling about good or bad?
No, everything is fine. That type of feeling, that's called infinite. They come to a feeling that whatever is happening for my good. everything will be fine. Neither good nor bad.
Okay.
Everything will be fine. And see, that time what will come will be, that time you will become a state. Okay, just let me put, so how they feel, how the masters feel. They don't have expectation, expectation zero, not even a thank you from anyone. They don't feel I'm lucky or I'm good or I'm bad. Both way. Lucky means it can bad luck or good luck, both can happen. No? They never feel I'm lucky. Listen this part very carefully. They always feel I am blessed, not lucky. Luck, as I explained earlier in my message, that just being, you have been given the life itself, you had that luck. Otherwise, you could not have got this human body. Life itself, you have a luck already. So they feel whatever is happening, they are blessed. Okay. If somebody feels the blessed, it is neither good or not bad, right? There is no duality there. There is a unlimited acceptance. We call it infinite, or you can say the infinite patience. Those are the quality they belong. That's why they don't get frustrated, no? This is the quality they develop. They don't expect anything from anyone. So that's why, so you cannot make them unhappy because it is not depending on that. They are not depending of anything outside them. Everything is inside. It's connected, and they are connected with that universal consciousness. They are in a joy, pure joy. And they feel the bliss, no matter with good, bad thing, what is happening.
Yeah,
Okay, they are living in unity consciousness. That's why they don't have to feel good and bad. Everything is accepted. You know, like that horse story. The owner of the horse, he is a wise person, the philosopher. He knows whatever is happening, it doesn't matter. It is year of looking at things, it is good and it is bad. When horse ran away, it is bad. When horse came back, it is good. When somebody broken his leg, it's good, bad, and again he is not going to the thing. But if you see in the totality, it is a game of life. It's a 50-50. 50% cases, good thing happen, 50% cases, bad thing happen. So in the soul level, these are all experiences that you get, and you plan to get all these experiences. You don't pick and choose there. You see it in the totality. Okay, so approach is different. The way of looking at things are different. Things are not different. External world will not change overnight, but your way of approaching life will change. You get liberated from this kind of attachment, this kind of way of thinking, this kind of way of feeling good or feeling bad, and all those kind of things. So you will not feel good, not feel bad. So what do you feel? Because I told many times it is all about feeling, right? Not thinking, feeling. So how do you feel? Everything you feel, you are blessed. No matter what happens to you, you feel blessed and live in the life of attitude of gratitude. That is the highest vibration possible. We need to then practice that stomach breathing to raise from 250 to 260 and all this. No need. You are there. Okay, so that is how the ultimate the vibration level we can achieve, and that is the life we live. We live a life of liberation with pure bliss and joy. We're not searching here and there. It's connection gives us that. Our soul is already there. We have to just connect with our soul all the time, and that's it. Okay, means to see when everything is lit up, we don't have to switch on the sun. When you go to the sunlight, everything will see as a lit up. It is like that. Okay.
Thank you, Guruji.
All right. else also want some questions? Can you hear some sound that's coming? One minute. Okay, all right. So fine. So we will now get ready for our Kriya and meditation. Sit straight.